Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Judy, and it just seems like such a long time since I've been able to sit down and make a video. I have a couple of ideas of things I'd like to talk about. We're heading toward the Big Bang and soulmates and all that kind of stuff. But there's a couple of things before we get there that I think are important to mention or discuss. Anyway, so today I guess I want to talk about I don't even know what to call it. Who we think we are, what we think is important, and the shift that can happen when you realize who you really are and what's really important. Now, you already know what I'm going to say. Before I say it, though, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, or is it over here? I guess it's over here. The subscribe button, and maybe the little notification bell. At the end, I hope you also hit the like button, because I like when you hit the like. So, I have so many examples in my mind. And I don't know that I can say it as eloquently as I'd like to. Because we know that if you've been through all these videos with me, you already know that I believe that we are here on the earth, in this body, in the situation, in the job we do, in the marriage we're in whatever the situation. We're in that for a very, very good reason. We have chosen it. We have chosen every option along the way. We know, our soul knows why we're here, what we're trying to achieve. It gives us little nudges to try to get to that place, and sometimes we don't get there, and sometimes we do. We're working with the people who are around us because we've worked with them before, and we know them and they know us as soul. Not Judy necessarily, you know. And the experiences we have, whether they're good, bad, beautiful, ugly, whatever they are experiences that are really important for our growth, for our soul's growth, and even for some of the people around us. That's, to me, true. Absolute truth. However, another part of all of that, and I've said this before, but I really, really want to be clear because I don't want it to sound contradictory. Another part of that is, what do we do with the information once we've gone through a lesson, once we've figured something out, or maybe we're trying to figure it out? What do we do with that? Because if we're in a life, let's say that maybe we have trouble with insecurities, and those insecurities have led us down a couple of paths of real destruction, harming ourselves in physical ways, in emotional ways, to the point where you have to wonder like where your life is going. And lots of bad stuff happened because some of the choices you made. If you're in that kind of life, if it's true that that's a lesson to be learned, that it's an experience to be had, and it's an important one, then logically a lot of people would say, well, then you shouldn't change it because that's what you're here for. But you're not just here for the experience. The experience is very important to the soul and to all the souls around. But the experience is an empty experience if you don't learn something from it, if you don't take the inspiration, I guess, to change the bad things, to make better the good things, to find ways to be kinder to yourself and to others. You don't have to be miserable if you came into this life to know what a miserable person feels like, and you figure that out because you have enough insight to realize what's going on, you don't have to stay there. You know, you can change things, and that brings everybody forward. So you don't have to be stuck in your situation. You've chosen the situation to learn something, but once you've learned it, change it, and then you learn that you can change it. And then you keep going, and something else will come up, I'm sure, because that's what life is, right? So, you know, a lot of times people think, you know, they look in the mirror and they think that's who they are. And, you know, maybe they don't like what they see, because not everybody can be as beautiful as me. Well, I went through a lot of my life thinking I was pretty ugly, to be honest with you. You know, and right now I guess I think I'm kind of cute. At 67, I can say that and nobody will say anything to me. I'm not conceited. I just realized that beauty is very much in the eyes of the beholder. And somebody who's very handsome or very beautiful can be very ugly if that's how their personality is, you know? So, but we look in the mirror, we decide, you know, what we need to do with our hair, which you can tell I did nothing today. With our makeup, you can tell I don't wear any right most of the time. We decide, you know, what kind of clothes we're going to wear, or, you know, what our body shape is and whether we like that or not. And some people get eating disorders because they really, really want to be thinner than they think they are. And really, they're like 100 pounds and they think they're, you know, 180. Those are all serious psychological issues. Most of them, of course, come right from some kind of insecurity. And some people who are really wise will even go and have therapy, you know, and try to figure out what the problem is so they can turn that around. But somehow or another, it doesn't seem to work for a lot of people. Therapy works. I went to therapy for 4.5 years, so I adore it. But at the same time, you only get out of it what you put into it, you know. So I guess that's a choice that you make. And whether then you learn from your immediate past or not is going to be up to whether you really actually wanted to learn anything. And some people don't realize they go to therapy for years and years and years, and they think, oh, it's not helping me. But you know, do they want to get help really? Because if they do, and they are desperate for help and want to feel whole again, or maybe for the first time, they're going to be honest, they're going to cry, they're whatever they have to do in the therapist's office to get through it and keep coming back until, you know, they feel like, okay, there's really nothing more I have to say and I understand so much more now. But some people don't do that. They just go and they, you know, and they don't really get help when they do that, do they? It's like going up to the teacher at the end of class and saying, you know, I don't understand this math equation or this historical moment or whatever. Can you help me with that? And then the teacher, of course, says, oh, yes, you know, and she says, do you have time now? Let's sit down for 10 minutes, you know. So she sits down, she's explaining. The whole time she's explaining to you, you're not listening. You're looking out the window, watching some kids play basketball. There's a cat up in the tree. She says, do you understand? Oh, yeah, thank you so much for helping. You know nothing more than you knew when you sat down. And whose fault is that? Yeah, I shouldn't be pointing fingers, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, I have a friend who always asks me for advice, and when I tell her the advice, she says, oh, what did you say? She wasn't even listening. She's on her phone, or she's thinking about something else, or she'll even interrupt right in the middle of the sentence because she's not really listening anyway. She didn't really want my advice. We have so much potential as human beings. But the way to find our truest potential is to release ourselves from who we think we are and let us be who we are. And that sounds so nice and idealistic and perfect. Except that how do you do that, right? The way to do it is to first understand who you really are. That this life is a wonderful gift of many, many, many things we can learn, and ways we can learn to love, and ways we can learn how to handle things that aren't love, and ways we can pull from ourselves whatever passions we have about whatever it is, and go and make the world a better place. Whether you're going across the country, or you're leaving, going to some other country, or you're just in your own little town, going to your little place of work. It doesn't matter. We are so much more than we give ourselves credit for. And when we look in the mirror as soul, oh sure, we could lose a little weight because, don't want to have diabetes or some heart problems or whatever. I should probably take a bath and comb my hair. But am I really that person? I mean, it's okay to look pretty or to dress nice, as long as you don't actually believe that's who you are. And you can be beautiful, handsome. You can wear the finest of clothes and know all your manners and how to wear your hair. But if you're a crappy person, nobody's going to be impressed with your hairstyle. Nobody's going to be impressed with your expensive clothes because you're a crappy person. You know why you're a crappy person? Aside from the experience, of course. Because you haven't figured out how to look at yourself for real. Look into your own eyes. You look into my eyes. Can you see me? If you just look at this, with the hair and the makeup and all, that's not who I am. It doesn't really represent me. I'm just comfortable because I'm working from home. If I wanted to go out, I would fix my hair up a little bit nicer. I would wear some makeup. I would wear a decent outfit. That's not who I am. What I mean by that is that person that wears those things and looks that way is part of who I am as Judy. I'm not really only Judy. And you can see that in your own eyes. Believe in yourself. Believe in who you really are. Give everything you've got to the things that you feel wonderfully passionate about. And if you don't find something to be passionate about, that's okay. Whatever you're doing in this moment, do it the best you can do. Don't give up on yourself, because who you really are never gives up on you. The universe, at least the one we're living in, is loving and caring. And I'm not going to tell you to pray, because I've talked about this before, praying to God, please give me this, please let me do that. I don't know if that's effective. But I do know that trusting in the universe, even saying, universe, can you help me? What you're really doing is asking those souls that know you, that maybe aren't in this life with you, they can kind of help you. They can help make things happen, open doorways, because we're always talking with each other in a soul language. Starts sounding crazy, I know. But you don't have to have a body to communicate with somebody. And my soul is probably always communicating with a few around me. And I'll do that too with somebody else when I'm only in my soul body and somebody else is still in their physical body. You're not alone. Nobody's alone. Hey, can you help me? Can anybody help me? Guess what? The door will open. God doesn't need to help us, because we're here to help each other. That's how it works. Thank you, universe. Enjoy being you. Look in your own eyes. You don't need a fancy car. You don't need a special haircut or different clothes. You just need to be you. Authentically you. Everything else will make its way into your life, if that's what you need or want. That's all I got to say on that. And as I said, at some point here, we're going to definitely have to talk about that Big Bang. It's coming. It's not coming again, I hope. If there's a little ball of energy the size of a tennis ball, and it's 15,000 zillion degrees hot somewhere around, we may have another Big Bang. But I'm going to guess that that's not in this universe right now. So, anyway, thanks for listening. If anything I said was something you thought was worth hearing, go ahead and hit that like button for me. And I will be back with another video or two. Have a wonderful day. Look yourself in the eye. You are soul.